Hello children, let's continue our chapter 7. So children, open your book, page number 72. Flower. Flower is the most colorful and attractive part of a plant. It is also the reproductive part of a plant. It appears on the plant after it attains maturity or is fully grown. The flower consists of the following parts. First one is pedicel, the cylindrical portion by which a flower is attached to the stem is called the stalk or the pedicel. In some flowers, the pedicel swells up or flattens to bear the other parts of the flower. This is called thalamus. The rest of the parts of a flower are arranged in circles called whorls. Then sepal. The outermost whorl of a flower, which is a green leaf-like structure and protects the other parts at the bud stage, is called the sepal, and sepal is also called as calyx. Then comes to petal. The second whorl of a flower, which is a colorful and bright, is called the petal. Petals attract insects and help in pollination. A petal is also called corolla. So, the sepal is known as calyx and petal is known as corolla. Then comes to stamen. The third whorl of a flower is a group of male reproductive parts of the plant. It consists of a long tubular filament and a solen portion at its top called the anther. It bears the pollen grains or the male gametes. These stamens are collectively known as androecium. So, stamens are also known as androecium. So, children, first whorl is sepal, second whorl is petal, and third one is stamen. Then comes to carpel. The innermost whorl of a flower consists of the female reproductive part. This is also called pistil or gynoecium. It consists of three distinct parts, namely the stigma, the style, and the ovary. The lower solen base forms the ovary, which bears the ovules. Each ovule has a female gamete. The ovary extends into a cylindrical long stalk called the style, which ends into a flat sticky portion called the stigma. Then, what is pollination and what is fertilization? Transfer of pollen grains from one anther of the flower to the stigma of ovary of the same flower or another flower belonging to the same species is called pollination. Then fertilization, when the male gamete fuses with the female gamete, it is called fertilization. So children, again we recall, the outermost whorl is sepal and it is also known as calyx. Then second whorl is petal. It is also known as corolla. Then third whorl is stamen. It is also known as androecium and it is the male reproductive part of a plant. Then last one or innermost whorl is known as carpel and it is the female reproductive part. Then comes to function of the flower. Flowers help in pollination by attracting insects. Flowers grow into fruits and seeds, which give rise to new plants. Some flowers are used to make perfumes and medicines. So children, this is anther and this one is filament, and in anther and filaments are known as stamen. Then this purple color is petal, this is stigma, and this cylindrical body is known as style, and this swollen part is known as ovary, and these are ovules. Then this green color structure is known as sepal, and this is the swollen part is known as thalamus, and this is the pedicel. The stigma, style, ovary all are known as pistil. Then fruit. The ovary of the flower after fertilization develops into a fruit. Fruits are juicy, fluffy and edible. They play a major role in seed dispersal. A fruit consists of two major parts: the outer covering, namely pericarp, and its fleshy pulp, which is the fertilized gamete or seed. The pericarp consists of three layers, that are epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. Epicarp is the outermost layer, which is the skin of the fruit. For example, the peel of a banana. Then mesocarp. It is the medial fleshy juicy pulp which is eaten in a mango or banana. Then endocarp is the innermost hard layer enclosing the seed. So children, you remember this epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. Then functions of fruits. The fruit is the edible part of a plant. A fruit stores food. A fruit contains the seed within and protects it from harsh climate changes or climatic conditions. The fruit plays a major role in seed dispersal. Then seed. Every seed contains a tiny plant known as embryo with leaves, stems and root waiting for the right condition to germinate or grow. The fertilized ovule is called the seed. The ovule gives rise to a new plant. Seeds are protected by a coat. This coat can be thin or thick and hard. A seed also contains a short-term food supply called the endosperm, which is formed at fertilization but is not a part of the embryo. It is used by the embryo to help its growth. The baby plant inside the seed is the embryo and is protected by cotyledon or seed lip. Some seeds have two cotyledons and called dicot, while some have one cotyledon and are called monocot. So children, this is about your chapter 7. Again you read properly and learn which are underlined. Thank you.